Hello my viewers, you're welcome to Frank NutriFacts YouTube channel where we discuss only about healthy lifestyles. On the 23rd of March 2023 was World Optometrist Day, and I am an optometrist by profession. So I have chosen today to discuss about the eye. And the topic I'm going to be talking about today is on how to take care of our eyeglass. Now, a lot of people have noticed on their own that they are having some sight challenges, which could range from not seeing things as far or things that are close, or even inability to see tiny things, that's font size that are tiny. And because they could no longer cope with it, they decide to come to the eye clinic to check their eyes and to find out what the problem is all about. Now, these people come to the clinic, paid some amount of money to get their card, waited patiently till it got to their turn and they were seen by the doctor. And they spent time with the doctor, waiting for the doctor to interrogate them on what their problems are, as well as examining their eye to find out what the problem is. After that, their eyes will be refracted, and then they'll proceed to looking out for a particular frame that will suit their personality. Some don't even get their taste in the hospital. Some will go to an optical shop to procure a frame of their taste for themselves, and then they will return back to the eye clinic, and then they will be given an appointment on the day they will come to pick their eyeglass. And these people, after having spent this time and money, you discover in less than 6 months they will come back to the hospital complaining things like, my lens is scratched, or the handle or some other part of the frame is broken, or you see them complaining things like, I have misplaced my frame. Now, of all of these 3 complaints, the major one is my frame is broken or my lens is scratched. So on today's episode, I'm going to be teaching us how to take care of our eyeglasses so that it does not get scratched or broken on time, so that the lens or the glass will serve the purpose for which you have bought them. So without wasting so much of your time, let's get started. So my kids wear glasses, so I'm going to be using their eyeglass to demonstrate how to take care of an eyeglass. So the best way to take care of your glass is, first of all, you try and wash your glass. That's the first thing you do. Now, you can either use a running tap to wash your glass, or you can fetch a clean water into a bowl and then wash it. Either of these two suffice. That's what you can use to clean it. You don't just wake up in the morning and then you start using your lens wipe to clean your lens. The reason is because the lens may have some dust particles or other dents, or even the towel you want to use or whatever, the lens cleaner you want to use may have some particles. And then you find out that you are cleaning it, rubbing it around the lens. If you do that for 1, 2, 3 occasions, you discover that it will abrase the lens. So in order to avoid that, what you do is to wash the lens. Okay? When you wash it, then you place it in a place and allow air to dry it. But if you think you are in a hurry and you cannot be able to dry it, then after washing it, you can now use your dry, clean lens cloth to dry it off. You don't need to start using things like handkerchief, rough material. Some people will just take a portion of their clothes, like my clothes now, and they will start one, or maybe like this my shirt now, they will raise a portion and start cleaning. No, that is not how to maintain your glass. If you use it, before you know it, your lens will start to have some fine lines, and when it accumulates over time, you discover you no longer see well with it. That is also why you see some people, they will come back and they will tell you, I was seeing well with the glass when you gave it to me, but after some time, I was no longer seeing well. The reason why you were no longer seeing well is not because maybe the doctor did not know what he or she did. Neither is it because maybe there were some systemic disease that has affected your eye, like in the case of diabetes, whereby when the sugar level rises, probably the vision tends to be blurry. It may not be any of the occasion. It could be just simple carelessness from you, not knowing how to clean your glass. That could be what could have caused that blurry that you are experiencing. You put on your glass and then you discover you're no longer seeing as clear as you were seeing when it was initially given. The reason is just that you have been cleaning your glass the wrong way, and now the lens have been abrased, so it can no longer be clean. You can't use anyhow, maybe towel that are textured, or maybe clothes that have some designs and or some maybe designs that are kind of stone that you can feel, and then you wipe them around your lens and your lens will remain the same way. It cannot happen. Definitely they will leave an impression on the lens. When the impression accumulates, definitely it will cause it will make the lens not to be clean. So let me wash it so you see how lenses are being cleaned. So the first thing you do is to wash your hand. Okay, now wash your hand. Now when you wash your hand, what you're actually trying to achieve is to remove oil from the surface of your hand. And you know, ordinarily if you touch the lens with your hand, and that hand is greasy or it has oil on it, it will automatically create a smudge on the lens. So that is the essence. So by washing your hand, you have washed off any form of oil on your hand. Then the next thing is to pick the frame and then you wash. Okay, so when you're washing, you wash the surface, then you wash the inside, and then the handles. Okay, now when you're washing again, another thing you do is to pay attention to the recess. You can see between the lens and the frame there is this recess, so you try and use your hand around it, because sometimes this recess trap a lot of dust, a lot of sand. I don't know whether you've seen some people that when you look at their frame over time, you see things like spirogyra or something like greenish deposit around the lens. That is it. What causes that is due to negligence. So when you're washing, you try to use your finger like this and just run through the lens at the edge like this. So in case there is anything like that, your nails will be able to remove it out for you. Okay, so you do that while you are washing anyway. So that is what I'm about to do now. After washing, so you just run your finger around. If you do not have a running tap to wash it, still not bad. There is nothing wrong in it. You fill your bowl with water and then you dip your lens inside it, as I'm doing now. You dip it inside and then you wash. Okay, you wash it like this, and then you wash this side. Okay, and then you soak it inside the water and wash, and then wash this side, and then you now pay attention, and then you pay attention to this process I've just told you. You pay attention to make sure that you remove every form of dirt in it. Okay, and then you do it. Then you try and run your hand. You try and run your hand through the handle. Okay, and that is just it. So I have washed the 2 pairs of glasses, okay, for my kids. So after washing it like this, the next thing is to air dry it. What I mean by air drying it is by just keeping it on a surface and then allow the water droplets to go off by itself. Maybe you do it first thing before you go to take your shower and all of that. You find out that by the time you're done with all of that, you would have all the water droplets would have gone, and you find out that your glasses are dry for use. But if you think you're in a hurry, you can't afford to leave it for air to dry it, then you can use your lens wipe. Make sure you have a lens wipe, and when your lens wipe is dirty, always try and wash it. If you use a dirty lens wipe on a washed glasses, definitely the lens will still not be clean, because you're going to rub dirt back on it again. Do you understand? So it's always good you wash your lens wipe. If you come back from work and you discover that you used it so much in the course of the day, then as soon as you're done with your nice shower, you just pick it up, wash it. It doesn't take anything. Within 30 minutes it's already dry against the next day. And that is why we also encourage having 2 lens cloths. So when this one is dirty, you can wash it and then use the other one, so that there won't be any day that you wake up and you discover that you don't have a clean lens cloth to use. Then another thing about lens cloth again is that make sure you use the right lens cloth. A right lens cloth or the right lens cloth is just plain. It does not have any form of texture or an imprint on it. Okay, some people will just go and use their handkerchief. They say everything is not plain. It's not. If you touch some of these other materials, they are textured, and when you use a textured material on an eyeglass and use it to clean like this, the imprint on that handkerchief or on that material you're using will be causing an abrasion on the lens. And that is why when you use glass over time, you start discovering some little fine lines. Do you understand? When you put it on like this and you want to look at it, you discover there are little like scratches here and there. And in your mind, you'll be like, how did this scratch come? I never scratched it anywhere. You didn't scratch it anywhere. The only thing is that you were using the wrong material to wipe your lens clean. So always make sure you are looking for, you always buy a lens material, or what we call a lens cloth. Okay, so this is the method of cleaning your glass. So when you are done, you try and clean it, and you clean it again down to the handle. That is how to do it. You clean it down to the handle, you clean it down to the handle. The next thing you do is you pay attention to the recess I told you. Okay, so you use your lens wipe like this, and then you clean it out. You clean it, you go around it, and then you do same for the other one, just by the edge. You clean it this way. Okay, so in case there is anything. Now look at, as I wash this thing, it's actually clean, but even after washing it, are you seeing some deposit on this handkerchief? You see some dent. This dent is from the lens, and remember I washed it. So imagine somebody who doesn't wash it, or you just wash and use anything to clean it. Definitely all these things will settle, and then before you know it, you will no longer be seeing very well. Okay, so these are the ways to wash the eyeglass. Now let's say maybe you have found yourself in a place, or you are so choked that you cannot make out the time to kind of wash your lenses or wash your glass like I've shown you. Another thing is to use what we call liquid lens cleaner. Some people just go and buy any chemical and use it. Some will even go as much as using spirit and all of that, or some will use detergents like powder detergents and all of that to clean their lenses. It is not right. If you do it, remember some of these detergent contains what we call ammonia, and they are very harsh on what we call anti-reflex coating. Some of the glasses are photochromic lens. Photochromic lens is a lens that when you take it out under the sun, it forms an automatic shade, okay, to protect the eye. And some of them comes with an anti-reflex coating. Now that coat on the lens, what it helps is to reflect light that comes on the lens, okay, or that comes into the eye. So that AR coating or anti-reflex coating helps to reflect that light. When you use detergent, all these detergents we use at home, because they contain ammonia, it will affect that lens coating. It will weaken it. So by the time you are not using lens wipe to clean your lens, you discover that AR will be wiped out. And that is why you see some people, they also come with complaint like, initially when I wear my glass, I can conveniently use it to drive at night, but after some time, if I wear it to drive at night, the light still disturb me. That's light from oncoming vehicles still disturb me. Okay, now the reason is because the person has been using detergent that contains ammonia to wash, and that has weakened the AR, and by the time you use lens wipe to wipe, you've already wiped or peeled off the AR. So that is the reason behind it. So if you must use anything other than water, the next alternative should be the lens liquid cleaner. Do not be tempted to use Omo, Spirit, and the rest of them to clean your lens. Well, for Spirit, maybe if it is the handle, or you felt like, let's say for a doctor who goes to the theater to carry out surgical procedures, and of course needs the glass to be able to do all of that, and maybe after you come out, you want to clean up, you can afford to use Spirit now to clean. It's just to sterilize it, you understand, and you can afford to do it. But once you get back home, you try and wash it with plain water. You can't continue to use Spirit on it, except maybe you are using CR39 or the normal plain white glass. okay, you can afford to, but once it has AR coating and all of that, you cannot afford to be using spirit and all these hard materials on your lens. So these are the ways to clean glasses. If you want to pick your glass, the best thing to do is to pick it from this edge. That's the material that is in between the two eyeglass, in between the two lenses, just by the nose, where the nose bridge is. This is where you pick it from. Okay, now this is to prevent the frame from bending. Okay, a lot of people, when they want to pick their glass, they will hold it either like this. Some people will even be flinging their glass, like for instance in the case of kids, they will just be flinging it, and before you know, you discover that the frame has lost its shape and position and even stability. When you wear it now, it will not be looking slanted and all of that. So the best way is to pick your frame from the center here. Okay, or another way is to handle it by the two edge here. Now, if you must wear your glass, the best way to wear it is hold it by these two edges and then put it on. Okay, and then whenever you want to remove it as well, you also hold it by the edge and bring it out. You don't wear and then you are dragging it like this. If you do it like this, these are the things that will happen. Number one, either of the handle will break, or they will twist, or they will bend. Okay, and then when it happens, what you will notice is that they will no longer be balanced on your face. You will notice situation like maybe people are wearing glass and you see it looks as if their glass is like this. That's because the frame has lost its stability. You understand? Instead of staying like this, it will not be staying somehow like this. That is because the patient was not careful on how he or she picks up the frame. So that is just it. So pay attention as to where you pick your frame from, how you pick it up. You pick it from here or you pick it from the middle. Okay, never you pick your lens like this. If you try it, your hand will leave its print on the lens. It will cause smudges and you will not be able to see very well. These are the reasons why when you now put it on, you discover that you're not seeing very well again. Another way of taking care of your frame again, particularly to make it not to break, is to make sure that your frame is always in the case. Once you are not wearing your glass, please try and put it inside the case. It can be in the hard case, it can be in the fabric case. There are so many types of cases out there, but make sure you put it in a case. Now, by putting it in a case, you are protecting it from breakage. You're also protecting it from dust particles and other things that may settle on the surface of the lens and create blur for you. And again, you're also preserving it. You're also preserving the lens by keeping it inside the case. Another reason why you must keep your lenses clean is that if this lens now have smudges or dents or scratches on them and you keep wearing them, it will begin to cause strain on your eye, because your eye will not be struggling to see through those scratches, to see those dents, and you know those things are like an artificial blur, and that will also cause another problem for you. It can cause headache. Okay, so these are my kids, and as you can see, they both wear glasses. If you have children that wear glasses and you're a busy mom or dad, then you have to take out your time, make out time to teach them how to take care of their glasses. My daughter takes good care of her glass. As a matter of fact, she started wearing glass when she was 2 years old. And I started early to teach her how to take good care of her glass, how to wash it, okay, and then how to position it. And I can tell you, her glass lasts quite long in her hand, unlike the boy that every now and then I keep on replacing and all of that. But the main thing is teach them on time on how to take good care of their glass and how to place their glass so it does not scratch or gets broken, and it will now save you the cost of coming to the hospital every now and then to renew their glasses. I hope I've made you glad today by today's presentation. So until next time, bye.